Hey everyone, in this tutorial I am going to pick up where I left off, where I said I was using a JR radio, the XG14, and I have installed on my QAV250 quad an XBUS receiver. So before we get started here, the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flash my NAZE32 board. And I'm just going to pick a firmware. I like to use the .1 releases, so I'm going to skip the .0, the 1.9.0, and use the 8.1. And the reason is just because I like to use the .1 releases. So I'm going to load the firmware online, and then I'm going to flash the board. Now to get this set up, there's a couple settings that we need to do beforehand to get the XBUS working with the NAZE32. So I'm going to connect now that the program has successfully been flashed, or the board has been successfully flashed, and I'm going to connect it. Now I have my quadcopter next to me because it's just a small QAV 250, and I'm just going to reset the axis and then calibrate the accelerometer. But then what you can see here, it's working. I'm going to come under port, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on serial RX under UART2, and I'm going to save this. And then once it's finished saving, you'll get the ready for the next commands. So then I'm going to come under configuration. Now here's where we're going to set up the XBUS receiver. So the first thing you have to do is you're going to say RX serial, the receiver mode that you want to pick. Now if you're using FreeSky, I think you have to pick the PPM, but if you're using SBUS, Spectrum Satellites, you would pick the RX serial. And what this allows you to do is allows you to use essentially one signal wire to communicate all the channels. Under the serial receiver provider, you'll see a list here. At the bottom you see XBUS mode B and XBUS mode B RJ0. Let me explain the difference and when you want to use which one for which receiver. Essentially, anything that's XBUS underscore mode underscore B, it's any DMSS J official JR receiver that communicates XBUS. This one is actually for the Align receiver. Align came out with a DMSS receiver that allows you to use XBUS and DMSS, a small satellite receiver, with the T-Rex 150 helicopter. Now since I showed you that I was using a JR receiver, the RG14BX in my last video, I am actually going to pick the XBUS mode B. And then I'm going to hit save. Now it's ready for the next set of inputs because the device says ready. And I'm going to come under the receiver. I'm going to turn on my JR radio. And I am going to plug the power in to my QAV 250. Now you can see that my channels are working, which is why you're seeing the funny angles here and the plot. But there are some issues that I see as I move my channels around. One of them is being my throttle channel, which is stick 1 for me. I'm running mode 2, so my throttle is on the left side. As I go up and down, the aux switch is actually activated, not my throttle channel. As I move my rudder stick, you will see that my throttle is moving. And the reason that is because mode B has a different set of channels. Actually, throttle is channel 5. Now I'm going to adjust some things here because my trims are not centered, so I am just going to adjust those to try to get everything set back to close as 1500 as possible. And that seems to be close enough. So what we're going to do is, you'll notice here that the channel mapping, there is an option in this pull down list for default, Futaba, High-Tech, JR, Spectrum, and Grotner. Even if you select the JR in Spectrum and you hit save, this actually makes the situation worse, because here throttle would be channel 1, but it's not. In XBUS it is not channel 1. So what we need to do is we need to fix this, and actually I made the situation worse when I picked the JR channel mapping. And the reason I say it's worse is because now my rudder stick is actually moving the pitch, and my elevator is moving roll, and my aileron is moving throttle. So in my opinion, that actually made it worse. So how do we fix this? We go under CLI, and CLI is basically allows you to type in commands, and a particular command that we want to type in. You can either type in commands or enable features through the command line. But in this case, we're going to do a map command. And what I want to do is I want to map aileron, elevator, rudder, but instead of throttle, I want to say 1. Then throttle, because throttle is actually channel 5 on XBUS mode B, and then 2, 3, 4. Once I do that, I'm going to type in save, and then I'm going to exit. Now I'm going to click on my receiver tab once the system is done rebooting. And now you will see when I move my throttle stick moves. When I move my rudder stick, my yaw channel moves. And actually you heard the motors activate. And when I move my elevator, my pitch moves. And when I move my aileron, my roll moves. So this is how you get the JR XBUS working correctly with your receiver, so that you can use a single wire to communicate all the channels. And what you can see here, you have a lot of channels. You know, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 here plus 4, so you got 12 channels total that you're seeing on the screen. So I hope that helps you. I know there doesn't seem to be a lot of online tutorials on YouTube on anything regarding JR radio and how to use XBUS, and I thought that this would be a good video to post because I couldn't find it anywhere, and I had to do a lot of searching on the web to figure out how to get my radio to work with the mini quad with the receiver using XBUS. So I hope that helps everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll post the links to the JR specification for XBUS mode B and additional links that I think would be helpful. Thank you. Bye-bye.